Hello, everybody. What do you know? What do you know? What do you know? It's Tuesday night. It's a little late night. It's 10:30. That means things are still happening. So what we're doing tonight is, you can see here, we got a lightning news flash. Viking Stew, that's me. I did a Chicagoland pickup the other day and found some really, really cool stuff.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yes, we can dig it. We all can dig it. I'm sure we can. Hang tight. Here we go. That's me. And the area is a little messy because that's the way it goes right now. Got a lot of work done, though. Some things are happening. Just put up my new shelf, but you know what that means? It means you also see what else you still got to do, right? Let me see if I can raise this up just a skosh. It's never so easy. Why isn't it ever easy? Yeah, screw it. I'll leave it the way it is. It's fine. You can see the turntable back here. I do want to give a shout out to Planet Score Records here in the St. Louis area. Be sure and check them out. Planet Score Records. They're down on Manchester, just off of Big Bend. And make sure you get in there and check them out. They have some great deals in there. They have some great used prices. I picked up a while back, my friend and I went there and I picked up a whole bunch of stuff. They have some cheap bins as well you can check through. They have some brand new stuff like most of these record stores do these days. And you can just check through whatever they've got, ask them when you go in. They got a great staff in there. They got some guys in there that really know what the store is, and they can tell you right where to look for certain things. And but I picked up Slade, Keep Your Hands Off My Power Supply, for $10, $9.99. And I'll tell you what, this thing was in great condition. The cover, the vinyl, the vinyl is, I mean, it's like brand new. I put it on the turntable and sounded great. I played the first side twice already. That's a great album. If you've never heard that album, produced by Tom Allen, who was doing Judas Priest at the time. So he was producing Judas Priest from the late 70s all the way up to the late 80s. The last album he did for them was Ram It Down. And I'll be talking about some of that stuff coming up on the show. That's a show I've got to organize. I've done it once, and I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but you will know. I did it once, and it was too damn long, so it wasn't organized. So that's a show that when I tell you what it is, you'll know what it is, and you're going to love it. It's really quite interesting. It's one of those, never thought about it that way kind of things. So anyway, but yeah, so I was up north doing some visiting over the holiday, and stopped in at two different places. One of them is a regular place where I go every time, and it always seems like I find something. I showed you the last time when I did a pickup. I showed you that I got Iron Maiden, the Rock and Rio album on vinyl. He gave it to me $30. It's pretty good because it was like brand new condition. And it's the multi-gatefold. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. So he gave me a real good deal on it, which was great. So that's one of the things I picked up there. But there's always a movie or something that I pick up there. They also put things out on a cart, like at a library. They have one of those carts, and they always stack it full of books and stuff. So I picked up some things off of that. And then also they had on the counter, they had some DVDs on there. Now wait till you see what I find there. And oddly enough, one of the things I was looking for recently, because my good buddy Lance had mentioned a little while back that Clash of the Titans had come out. It was the anniversary of when the original Clash of the Titans came out with Harry in it. What the hell, Harry? Anyway, it's his last name. So anyway, but I was like, oh, I'm going to watch that. And I walked over to my collection and realized I didn't own that. So I started looking on Amazon and I was like, yeah, it's a cheesy film. It's a cheesy film. Drew, what's up? What do you know? It's Viking Stew. In and amongst his mess. This isn't going to last, by the way. It's just, I'm getting this shelf put up and I'm going to have to do one of my least favorite things. And that is unplug my monitors, shut down the computer, which I won't do during the show. That would be a wise idea. So yes, I'm glad you are digging it. Make sure if you're out here, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and then hit the notification thing so you know when I'm going to be here. You'll be notified. Notified. So Salvatore, what's going on? Good evening, man. Maybe later this week we're going to have a late nighter. That would be cool, man. Play a little Rocket League together again. So anyway, doing the shopping. So I Clash of the Titans, that's going to come up and I'll tell you the story, but there's a little bit of something that precedes that. All right. Then the other place that I went to was what is it called? It's called Record Wonderland. Now I went there a while back. It was not a great day. I'd lost my cousin and we had a memorial service. And then some of the family went out and we had something to eat. And then just to kind of, pass some of the time between the service and a gathering after, I just wondered if there was a record store nearby, and Record Wonderland came up. So we stopped in there and I about flipped because first of all, the place has great selections of records. They had so much, and wait till you, oh my God, just wait till you see what I got. It's just, it blew me away. Because I'm going to show you some pictures that I downloaded here. I took a lot of pictures there. Here is this is their bag, and there's their cool logo. Here's the logo. So there you go. Alice in Wonderland, play me. And there's the card. Stephen Young is the gentleman I spoke with the other day. He is going to be on the show. He said he would really enjoy being on the show and talking about the store. So there, you got a little preview there. But I want to, so anyway, but the store, let me see if I can find, I thought I put some pictures in here of the store itself. I did. Here you go. Here's the storefront. So you see this right there. See, how am I doing this? If I go like this, oh, I'm doing it. So right there, I immediately walk up and they have albums in boxes. Okay. So I'm like, okay, it's probably just a bunch of stuff, you know? And here's another shot there. You can see there. It's just two tables. And this is what it was like when I went there. It's two tables of boxes out front. And, you think you're just going to find not good stuff. And I'm telling you what, I walked in the store, in the store. I walked in the store. I hadn't even gone in the store yet. And I had a stack like this. I'm freaking serious. A stack like that from those boxes. And that included some CDs as well. So we'll kind of get into that, but it's a great place. Now, I'd been wanting to get back to this place because all the way in the back, I found a copy back when we went. I found a copy of Joe Jackson's Look Sharp album on CD for $1.99. So all the way, so the store, don't go in expecting to spend 10 minutes unless you're only looking for one thing and you want to spend just 10 minutes in the store looking for that one thing. It's worth it. It's worth checking. And the guys there are all of them. There was 3 of them there, and every one of them was cool and helpful. So, so anyway, I walk into the store with a stack like this. All right. So, but back when I went, I found this Joe Jackson, $1.99. So I'm like, I want to come back here because I'm like, well, I don't need to spend $1 million here, but I could, because I like to collect some CDs and I like to collect CDs for people. So if I'm like, hey, I saw that Joe Jackson album on CD for $2, it was $1.99. Oh, cool. Well, yeah, you'd really like it. Yeah. So did you buy it for me? No, but it might still be there. I doubt it. I mean, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where you're like, if you see it for $2, just pick it up. You can gift it to somebody, right? So kind of like what I'm doing with these CDs that I just got, where some of them are doubles. There's things that I already have, but I can give those to somebody else. Even things that I burned years ago, I can give those to somebody else. Anyway, so it was a great store, and I had a great time there. I just went by myself. I don't like to put people through it. I did invite my son if he wanted to come along with me, but I don't, but he said he had some other things he wanted to get to. So I thought that's cool because I don't like to drag people through that if they don't want to stand around and watch me look like a madman, right? I got a little bit of an announcement for tomorrow too, so bear with me on that. So anyway, I'm going to grab this bag right over here, and I'm going to move this first. I did forget to bring something else over here, so I might have to go and get it real quick in a minute. All right, so let's start with our little trip to the squeeze box. How about that? All right, so out front, they have their cart, and I found a few things out there. Everything is usually on that cart is $2, $1.99. So what did I pick up? Green Lantern. This is volume 5, Test of Wills. Sometimes I pick these up, these graphic novels and things, so that I can, okay, hold on. This is in pretty good shape, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. If I'll try to resell it or if I'm going to tear it up. But I look for artwork and stuff like this to do decoupage work. So they had a copy of this. Look at this thing. This thing looks brand new. But I am not an expert when it comes to DC Comics and what's popular and what would be collectible. This could be a crap storyline that nobody wants. I don't know. But they may have put that one out there on sale because it's the only one of the, I don't know how many volumes there are. That's volume 5. So I don't know. Also found this, not as impressive looking as I thought it might be, but it's still going to be great to, and I'll say it again, cut it apart and use it for decoupage, is Another Day in the Life, Ringo Starr. The reason my life in photos and music. So the reason I say I wasn't super impressed is because of the layout. It's just got these little pictures. So it's, it could be a little more impressive. I don't know. But there'll be plenty of little photos in here and things that I can cut apart and use. Here's a great shot of Ringo and George Harrison there smoking cigars. So there's lots of things in there. You can cut them apart and put them together and on something. So also found this. I thought this would be great if you're doing a bar or something bar themed. Beer labels of the world. There you go. By Bill Yen or Yenny. So yeah, anyway, lots of photos, lots of things to cut apart. There's a bunch of labels, see? And then they have some destination pictures too and things like that. So Guinness, yeah, fantastic. But this would be great. Look at this bar. This was pretty cool, man. There you go. It is Take Courage. There you go. So you can cut these apart decoupage them on a bar, and pour the stuff over the top. Now here's another one that was kind of cool. This is one where I'll kind of cut it up. $2 again. All these books are $2. Big, huge books. Look at this. This is Berkeley Works. Berkeley Breathed. I don't know how you say his name. Anyway, he did Opus for years, but just did a whole bunch of really outstanding artwork. And you can see a bunch of this in here. And so I'll, tear this apart and decoupage stuff, all that kind of stuff. Then on the counter, I'm going to check this real quick because we have a lot in here. Salvatore says, "Sup, Drew? Been practicing Rocket League. Got to get some more practice. A few games a week." Oh, man. I would spend hours in the CD record stores. Yes, I bought stacks and stacks every time. I hear you. Peace and love, peace and love. Yeah. I was listening to the Beatles this morning. Well, fantastic. Lance, what is up? Yeah, I did just mention you, Lance. Thank you. See, there you go. He knows what's happening. Oh, man. On this day in 1981, Donkey Kong was released. What else did I see about something music centric that was that happened? Maybe it was yesterday or something. Yeah, A Wish for Wings That Work, the Christmas show of Opus. Tron was released on this date in 82. That is music centric. For me, it is. Because, Tron, when that movie came out, it really pushed forward Journey. As if they needed any more help at that time frame. Because they'd put out Escape, and then they put out Frontiers, and they had the song on the Tron movie soundtrack, and then they would end up having their own 2 years after that. They would have their own video game. Not that it was a big, so happy birthday to Donkey Kong. So I step in. I haven't seen these movies in a long time. And if I say the words Ray Harryhausen, I'm assuming you guys are going to know who I'm talking about. So Ray Harryhausen is the guy who did all the classic stop action stuff. So Sinbad movies, Jason and the Argonauts. Then he went on to something else. And that's what I just talked about a few minutes ago. So I look on the counter, and here are these. They have these little blue boxes in which they put DVDs. And there'll be, there's a section in the store, in the middle part of the store, all the way to the left. And there's a little window, and that's where like the staff goes for their breaks and whatnot. And they have a little counter area there. So they go in there, but that's not for us. But right outside of that little opening window, if you want to call it a window, there's a shelf unit. And that shelf unit has multiple plastic blue boxes on it, in which they have DVDs that you can flip through. Well, they had a couple of those on the front counter. They don't normally have them like that, but they had some on the counter this time. And I look, and they have the Golden Voyage of Sinbad for $4.99. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. And they also had Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, with John Wayne's son in the lead, Patrick Wayne. So then I'm in the back. So I remember I told you, Lance had mentioned that Clash of the Titans had come out, right? That's why I was talking about you, Lance. So Clash of the Titans had come out, and I was like, I'm going to watch that. I went over, and I didn't have it. So I looked it up on Amazon, but I didn't want to spend $10 or more on this cheesy movie. Because let's face it, you got to be in the right frame of mind and ready to watch it. Because if I'm not, I will fall asleep probably. But it's still a nostalgic movie to me, and I'd still like to have it. So what did I find on the bottom shelf, on the row of the blue boxes? Found it, and look at this, $2, $1.99 for Clash of the Titans. And this is one of the newer releases of it, because this box artwork showed up on Amazon when I was shopping. So there. So 3, but then I didn't put it together. I just was like, oh, cool, a couple of Ray Harryhausen movies. Oh, and Clash of the Titans. Wait, that is a Harryhausen movie. So I got three Ray Harryhausen films at Squeezebox, and those books. I always pick up a movie there, but they really didn't have a lot of new selections. 68 years ago today, July 9th, 1956, Dick Clark's first appearance as host of American Bandstand. Really? It really is interesting to see all of the bands that were on American Bandstand. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a deep dive on that for you guys, and maybe we can chat about that now. So, so like I said, at the end of the vinyl, there were some CDs. So what I've done is I've kind of, I might just have pictures. Would you like me to hold these up or just show you the pictures? Sometimes there's a glare. Let's try it. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, me too. I cannot wait to watch him, Salvatore. Cannot wait. Yeah, and those are great pickups, and this is only the beginning. That was the day Dick Clark sold his soul to the devil and stopped aging. Yeah, until he had that stroke, and then it was, then you could see he was aging. That's when it happened. So anyway, let's see what we got here. Let's go by the pictures. Okay. So first off, I've got all the things. I put these into groups per their price. So I can tell you I think all of these that I'm going to show you on the first here are all from before I walked in the store. Okay. Because I walked in and saw the guy at the counter. I said, excuse me, can I put these here? And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely. So I put this massive stack on the counter. So here you go. Are you ready? This one just came up. Somebody had just mentioned Fresh Air. You guys know what Fresh Air is? It is Chip Davis, who did this is Mannheim Steamroller. So you can see that up in the top. It says that Fresh Air by Mannheim Steamroller. So this is the first Fresh Air album. I have a Fresh Air, the one where it's the nature one. But most everything else is on CD that I have by them. So I have a lot of these on CD, but this vinyl looked brand new. It's just crazy for $1. $1. And of course I got to hang out with Chip Davis. I'll tell you more about that another time. And here you go. I can never, ever, ever pass it up. And why the frick would I ever pass this up when it's $1? And this is, you can see it's in pretty good shape for $1. I can hang this on the wall for $1, right? Gord's Gold double album, Gordon Lightfoot, for $1. It's crazy. It's crazy. A tech guy spotlighted a new Walkman type cassette player that is rechargeable with USB, not Sony, but it retails for around $200. That is crazy. Jeez whiz. All right. Then we have Jesse Colin Young. That one was a little more worn. But still for $1, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Ian Hunter. This is the first record I found when I started looking through the cheap bins out front. And so You're Never Alone with a Schizophrenic. Look at this. Jackson Browne, Running on Empty. I recently got this as like the deluxe CD set from my friend. That was in that box of stuff. Look at this, Randy Meisner. We were just talking, me and my buddy who came over was helping me out with my remodeling stuff. We just were talking about Randy Meisner and the Eagles. If you haven't seen that Eagles documentary, watch it. there's the scene where they're talking about Randy Meisner telling them as they went on stage, don't play Take It to the Limit because I don't have that high note tonight. And they're like, we're playing it. He goes, don't do it. And they're like, we have to play it. People are ready to hear that. Yeah, cassettes are making a comeback. They are. Yep. Now, here's a band that it's a prog band, and they had 3 albums by these guys. Now, I don't know what the shape was. Some of the condition was okay on these. You can see there's Novella. Here's one called Prologue. So they look to be in pretty good shape. They have little wear, but these are older albums too. So I don't know where oh, you know what? I bet the other one is $1 more. That's why it's not in this listing of them. Look at this. I love picking this album up wherever I see it. For $1, it's Rick Wakeman, Journey to the Center of the Earth, which is just so doggone great. I grew up listening to this on 8-track. Look at this. Silverado, the soundtrack to Silverado. Now, I got to rewatch this movie. I haven't seen it in years. Probably maybe decades. I own it. I just haven't watched it. It's a great movie. Great movie. Let's see what we got here. Don't take it to the limit. Don't do it. I can't hit that note. And now here are the CDs that I just got out of the bag. So we have home video album. So this is an RCA Victor album, which has stuff on it, music from 50s films, music for Westerns, sci-fi films, silent films. It's got music for 40s films, intermission music, overture music. So this is all stuff that you can use for your home videos. So that's pretty wild. I was like, oh, this is great. So there's one. And then what else do we have here? And there's The Legend of a Band. That's the story of the Moody Blues. And it starts off with their 80s music, which I love those hits that Moody Blues had in the 80s. Those are great songs. Gemini Dream. Let's see, what are some of the other ones that I always... The Gemini Dream, Your Wildest Dreams. I played that one. The Voice. Let's see. And then it's got a bunch of the classic Story in Your Eyes, Nights in White Satin. Isn't It Strange? And then it has The Other Side of Life. That's one of their 80s hits. And let me see here. I thought there was one more. I Know You're Out There Somewhere. That's another 80s hit. What a great album. So yeah, great songs. Look at this. All right. So now I think we're into, no, these are still $1. This is Trooper. I got 3 Trooper records. So I got their first one here, self-titled Trooper album, Hot Shots, and Knock 'em Dead Kid. So I just couldn't believe it. For $1 a piece. Also for $1, I got Television's Greatest Hits and Television's Greatest Hits Volume 2. Then bumping up to the $2 level, we've got Alice Cooper. I got a copy of School's Out and Bob Welch, French Kiss. Couldn't believe I found that one in there. Look at this. Bryan Adams, You Want It, You Got It. It's in great shape. I about flipped out. Look at this one. This is pretty cool. Gold and Platinum Volume 4. This is a double album for $2. It's in great shape. You can see it's got everybody from Springsteen to Jackson to Cyndi Lauper, Billy Joel. Europe is on here. Robert Palmer. Let's see, who else do we have there? It's Richard Marx is on there, and Bruce Hornsby in the Range. I already think I saw Robert Cray, maybe In Excess. Let's see, what's his name? Kenny G. And just lots of stuff. I got this one basically for the cover. This is Rock and Roll Nights by BTO. Not a great record, but now this one, they were very nice. I requested the possibility of getting it for nothing because it's in bad shape. It's like it's torn up. You know, the back is coming apart and stuff like that. And I was, but I just want the front cover. I just love the front cover. Now, technically, I've got this poster of this, and it's like 4 foot by 4 foot. It's crazy. But it's going to be expensive to frame it. Yeah, I cleaned them out. I know, tons of variety. Yeah, Bruce Hornsby. Bruce Hornsby in the Range. I remember playing that on the radio and going, what the heck is Bruce Hornsby in the Range? Look at this. $2, still sealed, Aliens by Horse Lips. Crazy. I think that has Sure the Boy Was Green on it. This is the album that came out right before Man Who Built America, which is a great record. Look at this. Okay, you want to know what's weird about this? The morning before I went to the store, I told my son about this album. I said, because I was playing it over his speaker. And I said, man, that Sleeper Catcher album is really good by Little River Band. Everything on it is killer. And I couldn't believe it. There it was. Great. I think this is in better shape than the one I have originally in my collection. But yeah, $2. Babies. There you go. On the Edge. That's Jonathan. You see, that's Jonathan Waite there, John Waite. And then right behind him is Jonathan Cain. And on the other shoulder is Ricky Phillips, who just retired from Styx. And then there's Walter Stocker on the stairs and the other gentleman. I always forget these guys' names. Their first Montrose album for $2. That somebody's got to be dropping a jaw over that. Now now we bump up a little bit, and we've got a few albums here that I found for $5. Here we go. Are you ready? There it is. British Lions. I get it whenever I see it. And it was $5. I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to find it, because you know what I found before it for $10? I can't tell you. You're going to have to wait. Dan Hartman. Okay, now here we go again. Are you ready? This is the album Relight My Fire. I do believe it's from 1979. And on it is his 7 minutes and 4 seconds version of Free Ride. And it's disco. All right, are you ready? Not only is it disco, but it's on the first Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie soundtrack. How about that? What do you have? Got to wait for the $10 tier. That's right. You can't leave yet. Hey, Lounge Dweller, good to see you. Hey, thanks for writing that note about Hybrid Ice. I really appreciated that. I'm so glad you liked it, and I'm so glad you really liked theirs version of Magdalene equally as much as Boston. Isn't it great? I mean, it is a different take. It's the original take of Magdalene, but I really like it. I tend to like it better, but still, it's, neither here nor there. Now, what'd you say? BTO Rock and Roll Nights has the song Rock and Roll Hell. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for mentioning that. Oh, that's great. Oh, now I can't wait to hear it. Even though I just said it's not a great record. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, Kiss had it on Creatures of the Night. I love that record, man. And did you and then Stuart Corden was just on the other day from Blitz over in the UK, and he had that huge box set for that album. Love the Power Rangers theme. Yeah, by Eric Martin from Mr. Big. Yeah. Let's see what we got going next here. So anyway, so Dan Hartman, this is the album, not the album. This one does not have this. There it is. This does not have Vinnie Cusano, also known as Vinnie Vincent, was not on this record. He was on, it's like Instant Replay or something like that, was an album, an EP that Dan Hartman put out. and Vinnie Cusano was on that. So yeah, but this has Free Ride on it, and I was like, oh my god. And then I get to the store and there it is for $5. I'm like, I'm taking it. Look at this. Night and Day by Joe Jackson, $5. The Dregs, not Dixie Dregs at this point. They just dropped Dixie and they went with Dregs. Unsung Heroes, one of the greatest instrumental albums I have ever heard. If you've not heard this thing, find it streaming, whatever you want, buy it up and buy it. Just frickin' buy it. It's worth it. You won't be disappointed. And get Steve Morse. That's Steve Morse right there with the blonde hair in the front. Get the introduction by Steve Morse and then listen to him back to back. You won't be disappointed. Now, remember this, British Lions. So if you don't remember who British Lions are, this album came out in 1978. I play one of the songs from this. This has a song that's going to be important to tomorrow, the show tomorrow. All right. So bear that in mind. That's the album. We're going to be talking a little bit about this tomorrow. So this is British Lions. This is after Mott the Hoople broke up. Ian Hunter went on his way and Mick Ronson went on his way. The rest of the guys got together with a gentleman named John Fiddler. Now, in this situation, our $10 albums start here with Box of Frogs. So you have the first album here, and then you have Strangeland here. So Box of Frogs, I remember talking about this album to a gentleman in Peoria at Younger Than Yesterday. It's a wonderful record store if you're ever in the Peoria area in the middle of Illinois. It's called Younger Than Yesterday, and there is vinyl, and collectibles like crazy. It's got 2 rooms full of stuff. Vinyl on the pretty much all vinyl on the one side, and then collectibles and music, CDs and stuff like that in the other room. So yeah, it's right off it's on University in Peoria. So check that out. But anyway, I mentioned British Lions and John Fiddler. And he goes, oh, the guy from Box of Frogs. I'm like, wait, what? So, of course, I had to get it. I got this and Strangeland. We're both together. I'm like, John Fiddler's on these. I'm getting them. Now, look at this. Can you believe I found this? I was just talking to my buddy, Ron, about Foreigner. I played a song or two from this album the other day while we were working upstairs. And he goes, oh, I love this record. I go, so do I. It's just an album by Foreigner you never hear about. So here it was. And $10, I'm like $9.99. I'm like, I'll buy it. I've never had this on vinyl. I don't even think I've got, I'd be hard pressed to know that I got Agent Provocateur on vinyl. I think I do, but I'd have to look back here. It's not worth checking it out right now because that would take too much time. But I found that inside information, $9.99, and it looked like it's in beautiful shape. So I had to pick it up. Now, you know what I noticed? That there was one album on CD that I didn't show you. And I don't know why it's not in here. That's interesting. But I've got it right here. I can show it to you. My dad saw this movie and fell in love with this Greg Allman song. So there's your little trivia. What movie would have a song by Greg Allman in it that I think this came out in the early 90s? I don't know. Let me get my spy glass out and I'll take a look. Oh no, it was 1989 when this movie came out. So let's see what we got here. See if anybody's asking or checking in. My listen list is getting long tonight. That's it. Longer than that ship that Papa Pete was playing with tonight. So anyway, the movie is Black Rain with Michael Douglas for $1. So the song on here is called I'll Be Holding On. and that's the Greg Allman tune, I'll Be Holding On, from the Black Rain soundtrack. Not a super stupendous movie, but it's pretty good. Some good action stuff going on in there. 1989. So couple of days ago. Metal Torso, how are you, sir? Great to see you. Is this where the continuation of Jokes for Space? Yeah. Oh my God. I could not even believe that that's actually what the name of that game was. Do you think originally they were going to call it Super C? That's a Contra joke. Anyway, yeah, I just couldn't even believe that game. I couldn't believe it. That was crazy. Papa Pete's ship might have been a little longer. He had a good grip on it tonight. Oh, yuck. Oh man. He came to win. Then today I've got pillows here because I'm going to start doing some crafts with some different t-shirts and stuff like that I got. And I like going to the thrift store. You find some cool t-shirts. I found a t-shirt for my grandson. It was a young kid's Queen t-shirt. So of course I picked it up. It was only a couple of bucks and gave that to him. But look at this. I got this pillow case today. Because this is, if you ask me what my favorite bands are, Iron Maiden and Priest are right at the top. And I really enjoyed that show. I told you that I really enjoyed the Judas Priest show recently with Sabaton opening up, and they had this 50 heavy metal years. And it's just it's a zippable pillowcase for a little pillow, like I don't know, like an 18-inch pillow or something like that. And so I have those here, so I'll just stuff this with that. And it's nice. It's kind of a flannel type material, and it's two-sided, so that's cool. Boop bop. And it's really nice, really nice. I wore my Sun, let's see, where's the logo? I wore my Sun Studios t-shirt tonight. That brought back a great memory too, from a road trip that we took down to Memphis, and what my wife called a glorified beer run. So, hey, let me ask you a question. Give me an answer on this. You can put it down below in the comments, comment right here live. I like to do artwork. I have a story for you guys, and unfortunately I'll have to show you on my phone. Let's see if I can pull that picture up. Let's see here. So the other day I went and played disc golf. Does anybody play disc golf? This is where my show goes. Disc golf, nostalgia, movies, music. We still have to talk about Axel F. So yeah, it is really cool. It is really cool. We went down there to Memphis and we went to the Sun Records. We did the tour. And then I got done. I was talking a bunch of trivia and things like this with the folks behind the counter. And they ended up giving me my order, that my purchase, complimentary. I was like, wait, what? It was so cool. Not frisbee golf, disc golf. Yeah. Seen people play it, but I haven't. Oh, okay. It's a great game, man. I love it. And it's cheaper than regular golf. It's free. Well, after you buy your discs. So let me pull up this picture. I'll show you the, got to get to it here. It's way down here. Okay. So my son tells me we're going to play, right? And he's got some friends and that we're going to play. Well, I have what I kept telling myself and other people is that I had a disc called an Eclipse. I didn't have an Eclipse. I had a Cyclone. Whatever. So here's how I got it. So I was out playing disc golf with my mom's second husband. My mom has passed years ago, and so has this gentleman now as well. But here it was decades ago, and we were out playing disc golf, and he loaned me one, this Cyclone. It was it was like a pale yellow, right? So I do a drive, I get out far enough, then I'm like, where in the hell's the hole? And he goes, it's on the other side of these bushes. So there's a horseshoe rim of trees and bushes that were, I don't know, they went up about 10 feet. And then it scooped down in the middle. So it wasn't all 10 feet, it was, So I said, okay. So I took a look at where the hole was, and I got back to where my disc was. And I took that Cyclone and I did a flea flicker, and I put it up in the air, went right over, and all I hear is ching. Well, it went right in the hole. So I was like, wow. And he goes, it's yours. Just keep the disc. You earned it. Just take it. I'm like, what? You sure? And he's like, yeah. A lot of disc golf courses here haven't played. Yeah, Salvatore, it's great. Practice up, and then we can play when I come out to wherever you are. So I'm really getting back into it. So he gives me this disc. I've had it for decades. Use it a lot. It's my go-to disc. I don't play a lot right now. I haven't played hardly at all in the last bunches of years, but getting back into it, it's cool. It's great exercise. It's not super strenuous, but it is. You get out and you're walking around. So Friday night, I decide, hey, I'll put a little artwork. I'll get my markers out, and I'll do some artwork. So I did, and I did this little quick freehand thing on my Cyclone disc, and there you go. It's just kind of like a phoenix, just So if you let me know if you guys, I'm going to do some more artwork on my discs. If you'd be interested in seeing me do that, I can position a camera over the drawing and just do a quick freehand drawing if that's something you would like to see. Otherwise, I'll just make you watch it. I'll just do it. You could suffer through it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I had fun doing that. Then the next morning we get up, we're on time, we're running, we get there. We even are running a few minutes early enough that my son's like, oh, I didn't bring sunscreen. So we drove right by a Walgreens. We pulled in, he got that, and we got right back on the road and made it on time. So we throw the first hole. I do okay. It wasn't a bad first hole at all. I think I was even. Everything was good. Get to the second hole, and my son's like, okay, well, guys, be careful. There's a bunch of brush on the one side. Well, we had one of our group was watching the discs. I don't know. Somehow we lost track of mine when I threw, and it was way too high, and it cut right over into the brush. And we looked and looked and looked. And at first I told my son, I said, I want to find this disc because I just told you the story. So, and I just drew on it. So I'm like, oh, I just drew on it. So I'm like, I really want to find this disc. Well, we looked and we weren't finding it. And I wasn't going to be the whiny bitch and make this a bad day, because it wasn't worth it. I was like, it's okay. It's a disc and it's fine. It'll be fine. So then we looked again later. I still didn't find it. And I just was like, it's okay. I just thought I'd give it a look though. And so it was good to look, and they were cool with me looking. And I swear I must have walked past it. I don't know how many times, because it had to have been right there, but I just let it go. I'm like, everything happens for a reason. This may affect the weight and balance of the disc. Yeah, please. That would be, yeah. Yeah, I know. All right. Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good. I'll do that. Yeah, it was, but I'm like, somebody else will enjoy the disc as much as I did. I didn't pay for it. I earned it with a crazy, I'll say a skillful shot. It was a skillful shot, but and I don't believe in luck, but it was pretty amazing. It's not like I do that all the time. That's not my everyday disc throw, happenstance. So, but yes, thank you. That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh, thank God I got a picture. So anyway, my son tells me about this putter, and it's called a polecat. Well, it's not built like all the other discs, right? It doesn't have the tapered edge. It's like a mini frisbee. It's got the kind of the wall that comes down. It's got the the big flat edge all the way around. So I'm like, well, this is kind of different. Oh, I fell in love with it. So I lose that disc, and it's an old Cyclone. So I don't know where I'm going to necessarily find one. I know that I can probably find one, but I don't know where, because it's an old style and it's an old disc. So the other day I went shopping. I found somebody on Facebook who was selling some discs, and they said they had thousands of discs. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's down in the city. Not, I won't say it's sketchy, but it's a part of town that if you looked at it, you're probably like, yeah, I won't come back here tonight. But they're redeveloping all over down there. So hey, it is what it is. And yeah. eBay. I know. I think about that too, and I'm just like, I'll just check and see what we've got. And I know that like Play It Again Sports, they have it. They have a bunch of discs and stuff. So I looked on Amazon. I found, oddly enough, I found what they have are Viking discs. What's the name of it? Yeah, Viking discs. And they have an Odin and a Thor and some other ones, right? So I go to Play It Again Sports while I'm on my way to get to the other guy. And there is a Thor. So I pick it up. I mean, I had to get it, right? It was $9.99. I'm like, it was used. It's used. I don't know if I'm in love with it. I have to learn how to throw it. It's a little different. It's got a real heavy angle. So if you throw it out there, you got to give it a little something this way so it comes back this way. All right. But a Thor, can you believe it? I had to get it. Then at the same Play It Again Sports for another $9.99, they had a newer Cyclone that was used. And I love this. I really like this one. I made some great shots with it. A little bit later, I stopped at a course on the way home and threw the first 8 holes. And I really like this disc. Then I made my way down to the city to visit with this gentleman who said he had thousands of discs. And I mentioned that I'm looking for a Cyclone and I'm looking for a polecat. He says, I think I got both. So I'm like, fantastic. So I get down there, I say, here, and he comes walking out of his apartment with these discs. He had 4 discs, and he had the polecat. There you go. So that's an Innova disc, and you can see it's very flat, very much like a small regular Frisbee, but I really like it. I've been throwing just a little bit backhanded to it, angling it back. So it just gets out there and just oh, it's going to work. I just have to practice because I wasn't doing well the other day with it, but I did do well with his. In fact, he has a pink one. He has 2. My son does. And he has a pink one. He goes, hey, did you steal one of mine? I said, no. So then in this gentleman's hands, he shows me this. And I'm like, oh, my God, that's it. That's the logo. That's what I want. A Discraft Cyclone disc. This one, I believe, is just a little bit heavier. Here's the funny part, though. Are you ready? Prepare to laugh. On the inside, what's the name? It's D. Stewart. Stewart. Can you believe that? My name, spelled the same on the inside. It's so weird. So anyway, I can only assume that he tried to get a hold of this guy and he got no answer. Either that or it's he was just getting rid of his discs, maybe. So I have to go through and I got to put my name on these and my number and stuff like that. So hopefully maybe one day. Now, if you guys are interested, I'll show you. These are my other discs. I was in a movie, a student movie. I know, isn't that wild? All I can think of is, oh, the guy from the Eurythmics owned my disc. So a friend of mine that I was talking to recently, who does a lot of woodworking and stuff like that. He was a film student at a local college, so he he had this student film for his senior year, and it was called Disc Golf. Well, DIS Golf. Sometime I'll have him on the show and we'll chat about the movie, and maybe we'll show you some highlights and stuff. But I played the goof in the movie, and I'm a little heavier right now, but I was even heavier back then. So it's a little embarrassing, but I played the goof. And then the gentleman, oddly enough, I was taking an acting class at the time, and the gentleman who was playing the pro disc golf guy had never played. And here I was, the goof, and I played a lot. So it's kind of wild. But this was one of my first discs, of course, the this shark. It's a good all around kind of starting out disc, because it's good for approach. It's mildly good for a drive. It's not really for a drive, but anyway, but that was one of the first discs I had. Let's see here. I've got a rock. It's an Innova disc. There you go. It's kind of another one for kind of putting. It's got a vulture on it. Just and it's the grams. It's all about the grams. The Scorpion. This is my Scorpion, which I haven't thrown it too often lately. But yeah, I did some artwork on that one as well. And they also had, I threw this one the other day. This is 170 grams. It's a Valkyrie. So I had some good throws with the Valkyrie the other day. Never underestimate the goof. I know, right? It was a fun movie to make. It was fun. I did graphics in it and stuff like that, because we needed posters and stuff. And then there was a cereal I was supposed to be eating, and I told him, I said, "You hit the jackpot with me, man. First of all, if you want me to do this, I can. Yeah, I'll be your main character, so I can do that. Secondly, I'm a graphic designer, so I can do the posters that you want. I can do those, and we can get them printed and put them up on the wall in the room that was supposed to be my bedroom. Not only that, as a graphic designer, I worked for a grocery company, so I did product packaging. And so I said, if you need a cereal box, I can do that. You just give me the photos and I'll put together a cereal box. And we did. I also have an Eagle, another Innova disc. I tend to like Innova discs. I do Discraft discs as well. Here's one more Innova disc is an Archangel. These are the ones that I have that are the newest. And some of the things that I was trying, some of these I think came from when we made the film. And then here's one that was, it even says Orville White on the inside. That was the name of my character, was Orville White. And then it discs up, and there's some artwork I did on it as well. This was a piece of artwork that I did. It almost looks like The Mask, if you notice that. I probably was influenced by that at the time. Maybe a little bit of the Tick in there as well. Then I got these other discs. I mean, I got a bunch. This is a Raging Inferno DT by Quest A Technologies. I don't know where that one came from. Here's the one from the film. Super long distance driver, and you see the Wright brothers playing. You couldn't. What is this, Metal Torso? You said I couldn't do any of the stuff you could do for the film, but I can eat the hell out of cereal. Well, here's the thing, Torso. You can imagine. Okay, so here's a disc. So can you imagine what cereal we used that they still make? It's expensive as hell to get it on Amazon. But he didn't know about this cereal either. I mentioned it to him. I said, dude, if you want to do a cereal, I'll do the box, but I know what cereal you have to use. Because he goes, I wish I had a cereal that was like disc shaped. And I'm like, dude, Torso, tell me what I'm talking about. Look at that. There's an Innova Cheetah for very long range. She's in okay shape. I need to kind of buff her out a little bit, though. And it's got a real nasty tick in it right there. So I don't know. Let's see what else we got here. We've got a super soft. It's a putt and approach. So I could try this sometime and see if how I like it for putting. But that polecat, I dig that polecat. Let's see. Here's one that I found that's a Stingray. I found this one. Let's see. And let's see. There's one. I did some artwork on it. Kind of the Queensryche logo. And that's a raven. One of these has a real nasty notch out of it. This one has a bit of a notch in it. Let's see what else we got here. I've got a Polaris LS, a long straight driver. I need to try it again and start working with it. She looks ugly. Maybe I'll do artwork on that one with you guys because she's ugly. I don't even know what this is. Geez, everything. Oh, there it is. The Beast. It's an Innova Beast, and it's a driver. Look at this notch. How about that? Look at God, that's just brutal. Yeah. So, yeah, she's seen better days. I must have found that or something. Let's see here. Oh, here. Speaking of notches, there's a notch out of this one too. And there's an Eclipse. There you go. I don't even know why I ever thought my Cyclone was an Eclipse. And then here's another one. Because in the film, I'm supposed to be enamored by the genie. That's this guy who's supposed to be the... yes, that's it. Lounge Dweller, you got it. Quisp. We bought a case of Quisp from Amazon to do the film. And oh, did I eat the shit out of that? I'm scratching my head because I'm sure I know, but I can't think of it. That is it, Quisp. Looks like Jeff's dog got that. Yeah, no doubt. That's absolutely right. So I'm supposed to be enamored by the genie. And so I have this. Here's another Orville white disc there. And I do this. The genie. And these are like just clunky free discs that we got. These are really just short approach discs and putters is really what they are. They're not for long drives. This one is, though. This is a Champion Firebird distance driver. It looks like it's a signature by Ken somebody. I don't know. I can't read. I can't. This goes back to Zach Wilde, right? Where, like, if you're going to sign something, sign it so I can fucking read it. Why do they sign it? You can't even fucking read it. I don't know, Zach. Okay. Notch of all notches is in my Scorpion, this yellow Scorpion. Look at that. That is some brutality to a disc right there, man. That's just like a chipped tooth. It's brutal. But anyway, so that's all my discs. But I'm looking forward to practicing more with these new discs. It's fun. It's a great game. And like I say, it's free. Slaps his forehead. Duh. I have an unopened box of Quisp from the early 2000s when it was brought back in limited quantities. You know, Jeff used to tell me, Super Jeff, my buddy from Go Game Go, used to tell me, he goes, we have Quisp. He'd lived like 20 minutes away from me. And he'd tell me back then, exactly, Lounge, that he's like, oh, yeah, we have it at Schnucks. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. How do you have it I don't have it at Schnucks. He's like, oh, yeah, I get it there all the time. I'm like, what? So it tasted just like Captain Crunch. I mean, is what it was. It was just it was the same stuff formed into a disc that tasted just like Captain Crunch. So that's that. I think that's about it, guys. I should let you guys get rolling, and I should get rolling because I was up late last night and I got so much to do tomorrow. And I got to get this place cleaned up and finish this and shut off my computer and blah, 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 and sleep. And I have to go see my daughter tomorrow. She got a birthday. I also have a bobblehead. Oh, yes. I thought about getting one of those. I'd seen it. I should have remembered the dude with the propeller on the top of his head. Absolutely. And then what was the counterpart? Lounge dweller. What was the counterpart? Jeff lives in a different time when Christmas everywhere. He's in a Quisp dimension that I just don't do. Do you remember what the other one was? They had both cereals at the same time. Yes, thank you, Lounge. I knew you were going to get it. Quisp and Quake, and then of course they had the whole thing. You can go out there on YouTube and you can check them out. You can see the commercials, and then they had the thing. Well, we don't want to keep both, but which one should we keep? Do you like Quake or do you like Quisp? It all tastes the same, but Quisp was discs and it was fun and cool. Quisp was a cool character, so he's a little alien with a little beanie thing on his head, little propeller. So he won out, and then down the line, I think they made Funko Pops of both of those. They made a Quisp and a Quake, I do believe, and a Captain Crunch. But yeah, it was all about which one do you prefer. Makes sense since it was Quaker. Absolutely, Quisp and Quake and Quaker. By the way, here is the logo for Planet Score Records right there. Planet Score Records. So if you're in town, check them out. We have a lot of other record stores. We have a few that I've never been to. And then most of the antique malls that we have around here has vinyl somewhere in the building. So Quisp. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Made by aliens, eaten by earthlings. I would love to have a bowl of it right now. I guess that's just not going to happen. Well, I'll tell you what, before I go, let's do this. And I need to make an announcement here. Let me show you this. Sorry about that. I remembered. All right. So many years ago, back in 1989, if you remember, we were just talking about what album came out in 89. We were just talking about one of the albums that came out in 89. The movie Black Rain came out in 89. So in 89, I wrote an article that ended up being titled "All-Female Rock Group Vixen Breaks into Male-Dominated World of Hard Rock and Roll." So they were playing here at the Westport Playhouse on May 4th, 1989. And this came out the day before. And I wrote this article. And I did an interview. There you go. There's the article that ran in the Suburban Journal. And perhaps one day I'll do readings of these, and I'll just make short little videos with me reading these. I should do that for Go Game Go too, because I did video game reviews years ago too. So anyway, this was the promo piece that came in the mail for me. There you go. Pretty tough. And then there you go. This is info about the band. There you go. And I interviewed Jan Keeneman, who's a guitar player right here. Gorgeous woman who has now since passed, unfortunately. Here was the album cover photo that they had. There's Jan Keeneman right here. And this is Roxy Petrucci, the drummer. And I asked her, one of the first questions I asked her, I said, "Are you related to John?" Janet Gardner, I opened up for her on a big festival day up in my hometown area. She and her husband have a band together, and they play, and it's Janet Gardner, Then here, Cher Peterson at this time, bass player, and just gorgeous. They were all just gorgeous. But you know, take a look at this picture, okay? So take a look at that. That's Janet Gardner, you know, with all the I don't know if I can get a really good lighting on that at all. It's really hard. Not to mention it's tough to know where to position the damn picture. Anyway, so she was pretty, you know, then that way. But then I met her later. This is her right here. Just gorgeous. I told her, I said, you know, you look great, you know, with all the makeup and, you know, all the bleached hair, but geez, natural, just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. This is when I saw them later. Cher wasn't with them, but Cher, now Cher Ross, after marrying Bam Bam Ross. So Cher is going to be on the show tomorrow. So we'll have an interview with her. So that'll be cool. So join us at 4 o'clock Central Time here on Hammer Away, and we will be talking with Cher tomorrow. She had a hell of an evening, so hopefully tomorrow will work out just fine, and she'll be all good and ready to go. I'm sure she will. She is quite the professional and very, very busy. I know it. Me too, Drew. I wish I could just go upstairs. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a late night bowl of cereal. It's not a great idea, but it's not the worst. Yeah, still gorgeous. Janet is just gorgeous still. Like I say, I had a chance to talk to her. And she went into the dental industry. Janet did. She was a dental assistant. If anybody saw that Getting the Band Back Together Vixen show that they did. And she's very sweet, very nice. You know, it was great to see her, and great, you know, quite an honor to open the day. There was a you know, a bunch of bands that day. So my band started the day in the afternoon at like 1 o'clock. We played, and then she was the headliner later that night. So it's quite an honor to open up for them and stuff. Her husband's from Chicago. They were hoping to be moving. He was hoping they could get moved back to Chicago. So I got to try to get a hold of her and see what's going on. See if I can talk to her. Have her on the show. So, all right. Well, then I think that's about it. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate everybody being here tonight. Make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you like the video, you know, and we can do some more things and get some more things going. Real quick, though, sorry, almost forgot. I did the show recently where I was talking about Axel F, Beverly Hills Cop, the new one. Has anybody seen it? You guys let me know if you've seen it. We watched it a couple of nights ago, and after we had gotten back from our trip, and I enjoyed it. I hadn't seen the third one, and I bought the whole trilogy, and that third one was shit. It was terrible. Thank you. Yes. Appreciate it. The more we have on those, the more I can get people in here. So Metal Torso, what did you think? Tell me what you thought. Because here's my thing. I don't know. I don't want to give any spoilers. If you don't care about spoilers, there's only one thing that really, it's not a perfect film. Okay. But if you have ever seen, okay, you liked it. Good to know. So I had never seen 3. Then I watched it and I hated it. It's terrible. So there's a little poke at that during this new movie. You're going to love it. So if you haven't seen 3 and you like the pain of shitty movies, go ahead and give it a shot. See how far you can make it. John Landis directed it and did a shitty job, which is really bad because John Landis did some really cool stuff. So I was sad to see that. It's not, but it rocked the nostalgia bone. It did. The big thing, Torso, and I bet you'd agree with me on this, is the music. That's all I'll say, is the music. Now, most people will look at me and they'll say, well, just like you just said there, well, it's the nostalgia. And you're like, okay, there does not need to be any further audio nostalgia than Eddie Murphy's voice. Some of the classic characters came back to this one, on this one, that weren't in the third. But the music doesn't have to do. The only music that you need to bring you back is Axel F by Harold Faltermeyer. That's all that's necessary. Then they brought in other songs that were in the movies before. And I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? There's so much new music out there that would fit this situation now, just as much as the old stuff. So give a chance to some newer artists or different artists, and just use it. Yeah, I was like, okay, what kind of oh, wow. Okay, you're gonna just use. It was as disgusting as when I was watching Axel F. Really is the star of the series. Yeah, yeah. I thought the movie was okay. There was certain times where I had questions where I'm like, seriously? But overall, it was an entertaining movie. It was entertaining. It certainly wasn't a piece of crap like the third one. Everything that he did in this movie was stuff that I expected to see him do. That's what the problem with the third one partially was. Other than just being a shit show directorially. It was terrible. But yeah, just Axel F is that's the only track you needed to have. But when you watch it, I hope you're entertained, but you'll understand what I'm talking about with the music. It's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. When you see the first one, my friend said it the best. She said it the best. She said, after seeing the second one, she says, well, the first movie, the soundtrack was more of a character in the movie. In the second Guardians movie, it's not so much. They try to make it that way, but it's not. It doesn't feel the same. So they use old music to catch the old vibe instead of the new music that captures the old vibe. Yeah. It just disturbs me on how non-creative these people are and how lazy they are and kind of how stupid it gets sometimes. Because what Thor Ragnarok, right? They play Led Zeppelin in the beginning and then they play the same damn song later on, which I get. You're probably paying out the ass for this song, but I don't care how much you're spending. Either that or don't use it. If it's that expensive, don't use it. I get it. It fits. It's immigrant song. So it's this whole Viking vibe anyway. But come on. Again, I've said it a million times. There's a band out there and their name is Hammerfall. 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 For a Thor movie? Hammerfall. There's other bands out there that would be great for a Thor movie to make it tough and cool. Primal Fear, Firewind. Any of these bands would be great. Nightwish. Oh. Use some ball beat. What's the matter with that? That would be awesome. Because these are bands that a lot of people don't know about. Sonata Arctica. Sonata Arctica, for crying out loud, covered Wind Beneath My Wings. Listen to it. You'll love it. And then check out, after you do that, I've said it a million times again, after you do that, then go ahead and check out Easy Lover by Jaded Heart. And then check out Don't Pay the Ferryman by Dominion. Dominion did a great cover of Krista Berg's Don't Pay the Ferryman. Dominion. But Jaded Heart, Easy Lover, that's great. It's great. But start with Sonata Arctica, Wind Beneath My Wings. It's so much fun. Anyway, why they don't push that stuff, I don't know. They just don't have the people there that are thinking. They're like, what do you think it'd be great? Well, wouldn't it be great if we used that Led Zeppelin song? How much is that going to cost? I don't know. $25,000. I don't know how much it's going to cost. Well, okay. I suppose we're going to spend that much. We can just do it twice. We can do it in the beginning and we use it again at the end. Do you know any other bands that would be good? I don't. Can I get you another latte? Sure. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, it's easy. It should be smart. But do I ever want to dip my toe into all that crap? No. There was a time where I wished I could have gone and done movies and stuff like that and helped out and given some advice, but not anymore. I wouldn't want my name on it. I'd have to give them a fake name if I ever did that. So dead on impersonation. So anyway, but watch the movie. Please don't come back and go, you said that was a good movie. I'm just telling you, I was entertained. Hey, let's face it. I went and saw Shang-Chi and I was entertained. Was I pissed? Yeah. I was pissed because it wasn't a movie about Shang-Chi. But was that entertaining? Sure. It was fun. People will like it. And there you go. Is it Shang-Chi? No. But people will like the movie. Yeah. That's just the way it is. All right, guys. I'll let you get rolling here. And then thanks for hanging tonight. Hope you enjoyed seeing all this stuff. And I'll get on to doing some of that artwork. We'll do that. And then I've got some cool puzzles. I was thinking about doing some of that on the show too. We'll just do... stick with us tomorrow. Share Ross. Can't wait. It's going to be our reuniting. And I got a photo to show you guys from when I met up with them all those years ago. And it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a real blast. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. You guys have a great evening. Get some rest. And have a great day tomorrow. We'll see you soon.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?